As a huge fan of Dark Souls and FromSoftware, it should come as no surprise that Bloodborne was one of my most anticipated titles. Hello?
Hi, I'm Steve, and I represent the Church of Blood Healing. For just a moment of your time, I'd like to spread some insight about the...
Bloodborne was one of my most anticipated games of 2015. You see, after FromSoftware's success with their game Dark Souls, Sony Computer Entertainment approached the game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, about working on an exclusive game for the PS4. He then skipped working on Dark Souls 2, which may explain why several people deemed the game a disappointment, in order to focus on this title, which would become known as Bloodborne. With Bloodborne, Miyazaki set out to distinguish the game from the Souls title.
Hi!
Holy shit!
I'm here to celebrate our Lord and Savior Lawrence.
How did you get in my house?
The Godhead works in mysterious ways, my friend.
Anyways, the Souls title's combat emphasized a slower-paced, methodical combat, where shields were useful in blocking and protecting yourself. Bloodborne gets rid of shields almost entirely, replacing them with guns in a much more aggressive style of combat. I mean, there's only one singular shield, the wooden shield, which is fortunate, being that wood is totally bulletproof. So how did this impact gameplay, and was it positive or negative?
Join the Church of Blood!
Bloodborne begins with your character receiving a shady blood transfusion, because that's a good place to skimp on spending money. Not surprisingly, this shady blood causes you to trip balls and see some truly messed up shit before you awake to find your kind blood administrator missing. A note in the room informs you to seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. Sounds easy enough. So, with your mission in hand to seek pale blood, whatever the hell that is, you head out of the clinic to find a beast, eating what appears to be the guy who gave us the blood transfusion. Yup, I think I definitely took a wrong turn. I'll just go the other way then. It turns out you're in some sort of nightmarish world, maybe caused by the blood transfusion, maybe not, and these beasts are a regular thing. Also, the best way to get past the beast? By sticking your hand up its butt. I like this game already. It's very true to life. Making it past the beast, you'll reach Central Yharnam in the center stage of the game. Yharnam is filled with people slowly turning into beasts themselves, who also happen to be hunting fully transformed beasts. Also, they hate you. But I mean not me, because I'm pretty Oh. From Central Yharnam, or after your first death, you'll be able to transfer to the Hunter's Dream via a lamppost. The Hunter's Dream serves as the main hub of the game. It's here you'll receive your first trick weapons. Weapons which have two modes that can be switched out on the fly while attacking enemies. Have access to shops via creepy messengers and bird baths, and level up by talking to a random doll. Ah yes, a living doll. Fucking FromSoftware. To escape this dreadful Hunter's Dream, halt the source of the spreading scourge of beasts lest the night carry on forever. Okay, to do that we find and talk to Gehrman, a central figure who acts as your mentor, who basically tells us, don't worry about everything, just kill shit, it's all good. He also tells us we can use whatever we find in the Hunter's Dream.
Even the doll, should it please you.
Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? Is it rude to turn down that kind of offer? After spending time in the Hunter's Dream, you can reawaken back in Yharnam where you'll meet Gilbert.
Whatever your reasons might be, you should plan a swift exit.
Okay. Gilbert also informs you that he doesn't know what pale blood is, but you should probably look for the Healing Church, who controls all blood ministration. In other words, everybody in town has been sharing the Healing Church's blood with each other, hence the title of the game. Traveling through Yharnam to find this Healing Church will force you to battle with the various Yharnamites and learn just how important it is to be aggressive in Bloodborne. Bloodborne follows the same methodical combat of the previous Souls games, where anticipating and timing your attacks based on your enemies are of the utmost importance. Yet with the lack of a shield, aggression and foresight become the most important factors. In the place of a shield, your character will wield one of a variety of guns, most of which allow you to parry an enemy's attack by shooting them just before they hit you. If you pull this off properly, you'll be able to perform a powerful visceral attack. If your character is injured, immediately afterwards you'll have a brief window to regain your health indicated by a lighter red meter on your health bar. This is done by attacking enemies, whose blood will serve to heal your wounds. Thanks, Healing Church!
You know, this blood tastes a little bit like corn syrup. I need more.
Making it through the various enemy mobs, you'll reach a large bridge to the Healing Church and make an important discovery. You now have a holy fuck meter! By seeing this boss, the amount of insight your character has goes up from 0 to 1. The more insight you get, the more fucked up shit you've been seeing. In fact, you could interpret to mean you're going batshit insane.
Which I would never do.
It turns out the path past the Cleric Beast is blocked off, so you're required to find an alternate way around by traveling through the sewers where you'll discover the true nature of Bloodborne.
Look, I'm not saying it was intentional,
But... how is this not intentional? Buttborne. Your next boss is Father Gastgoin, a hunter and former member of the Healing Church who has gone insane. Midway through the battle, he'll transform into a beast, proving it's men turning into these lichens. This leads you straight into the Untitled Chapter, where you'll find—
Suppose we could be friends?
what?
Buttborne. In Untitled Chapter, you'll find another lore note. The Bergenworth Spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. So when you say head shudder uncontrollably, do you mean like... Bergenworth itself turns out to be the birthplace of the Healing Church, and where the founder of the church himself studied. And apparently there's a spider there.
Meaning, I really don't care to go there.
So instead we'll head into Old Yharnam, where this town is long abandoned, hunters not wanted here.
And the sign said, long-haired freak.
The people of Old Yharnam were infected by a mysterious illness that led to such widespread fear and panic, the church decided to barricade it and burn the motherfucker to the ground. This disease can be found in the boss of the area, the blood-starved beast, and turns out to essentially be poison. For taking the beast out of its misery, you'll open the path to the Grand Cathedral of the Healing Church and find your first chalice. It's with this chalice you'll be able to access Bloodborne's optional content. It's randomly generated chalice dungeons, which are filled with a whole lot of meh. On the other hand, they do at least keep with the game's theme, Buttborne. Fortunately, the other area you open up, the Grand Cathedral, is far more interesting. Oh? Okay then. Apparently, if a kidnapper kills you, he captures you and takes you to Yharnam, the pirate city, which is probably filled to the brim with pirates. And also these guys. Yup, that's a cage on his head. But I feel like I've seen this before. There's gotta be somewhere. Close enough.
I'm just ahead of the curve.
Fun note about Yharnam, this is what their statues are! Question: why would anyone live here?
And I'm out.
Nightmarish rituals crave a newborn. Find one and silence its harrowing cry.
So is this game telling me to kill a baby? Is that what Bloodborne's about?
By making it out of Yharnam, you can finally reach the Grand Cathedral. Ah yes, the Grand Cathedral, the cornerstone of the Healing Church and home to—
Son of a bitch!
Heir to the ritual of blood, purveyor of ministration, place your hand on the altar's sacred covering and inscribe Master Lawrence's adage upon your flesh. Well, I would if there wasn't this random girl in my way. Hey, you! Get out of my way!
Dream come true. Dream come true.
Vicar Amelia, who would seem to be the residing head of the church by her title, also transforms into a beast, only further showing that something is majorly wrong with the Healing Church. She's a fairly easy boss fight, so long as you're aggressive, and in no time at all, you'll make her your bitch. Get it? Because it looks like a female dog? Did you get the joke? On the altar of the church is Lawrence's skull, confirmed by Miyazaki in an interview, so don't even try to give me any shit. I see you. Don't even think of commenting. So, like a completely rational, insane person, you touch Lawrence's glowing skull, which will send you into a fevered dream. Here you'll see Lawrence's memory of leaving Bergenworth and his master or colleague, Willem, in order to use blood to start the healing church despite Willem's protests, and learn the adage, fear the old blood.
By the gods, fear it, Lawrence.
And if you have no idea what's happening yet, don't worry, that's about par for course, but it does eventually make sense. As the Healing Church was a dead end and we couldn't find any pale blood there, it's on to Bergenworth and the birthplace of the Healing Church. With the knowledge of this adage, you're now able to tell a dead guard your fevered dream and get into the Forbidden Woods. Suddenly, you're confronted by weird brain sucker things that have tentacle heads, snake-headed people, and giant centipede monsters who shoot lasers, because why the hell not? Okay. What the fuck? That is a thing in this game. That is a thing. Which, might I remind you, is what we saw in the Grand Cathedral? This is what the Healing Church worships. This! And frankly, they're all insane because they can't even pronounce amygdala properly.
Oh, amygdala. Oh, amygdala.
It's pronounced amygdala. Amygdala! It's the tonsil almond-shaped portion of the brain that controls fear. Get a clue, idiots! So, whatever. Ignoring the Healing Church, you head into Bergenworth, where you find the one and only Master Willem. Up until now, most of the NPCs and bosses have been fairly insane, especially those associated with the Healing Church, but surely Willem will finally tell us what the fucking shit is going on here, and why Lovecraft is suddenly invading my gothic horror game.
Because I'm ready for the truth, damn it!
That's it?
I hate you, Willem.
For whatever reason, Willem seems to want you to go for a swim in the lake. So, disobeying most video game conventions, you do just that to discover you're the son of a god and can walk on water. There's also a cute flowery creature, Spider, who's actually completely docile and won't attack you, but it's a spider, and thereby disgusting,
And therefore must die.
and upon defeating it, the game gets even more weird. A lady in a wedding dress suddenly appears crying in the middle of the lake. Lady, I killed the spider. What could you possibly be? Oh, shit. You suddenly wake up in a crazy church and ritual secret broken. Seek the nightmare newborn. Okay. So this is where everything in the game goes to shit. You walk out to the next area, Yharnam, to discover these godheads are everywhere. Also, remember the Uden Chapel? Turns out there's been one hanging out there the entire time we just couldn't see before. Oh, and the Healing Church, as well as various factions of Yharnam, worship these things as great ones. Yup, that thing with multiple eyeballs trying to shoot me with a laser is apparently a god. But don't worry, now the enemies are more nightmarish and fucked up too. The beasts have their insides on the outsides, and hey, where are you going, buddy? I don't think that's supposed to happen. Oh, and you want to know how fucked up this area is? The walls are lined with people who are trying to get the hell out and somehow got glued and stuck to the wall. The people trying to escape are now horrifying statues. And what was so terrifying that they were trying to escape from?
Yup, I'm done. I quit. I just...
No! I missed the beast! Beyond this abomination, you'll find... It turns out this is the School of Mensis. They're part of the upper echelon of the church and thought to seek contact with the Great Ones by using a newborn baby. That baby being the baby of the ghost lady we found on the lake, who seems to have had the child ripped out of her. They then conducted a ritual to meet with the Great Ones in the realm of dreams, and, well, frankly, it worked. This is what is causing the Blood Moon to be so close to the Earth, and what's causing everyone to turn into beasts. Also, by touching them, you're immediately transported into the dreaming world, where a portion of Bergenworth seems to remain, and what is connected to both the Nightmare of Mensis and Nightmare Frontier. Being the Nightmare of Mensis is what the Nightmare Ritual is created, this is where we're off to, where you'll find the Lauren Silver Beasts who spit fire and who have parasites coming out of their bodies. Great!
You know what, Dave? What, me? I feel like this game is missing something. Oh? Slugs coming out of dead enemies' bodies!
The Nightmare of Mensis also has Sauron's eye looming down on you, trying to cause frenzy, which it turns out is a giant brain lined with eyeballs and composed of messengers. Eventually, you'll fight Mikolash, the host of the Nightmare and who would seem to be the leader of the School of Mensis. In defeating him, you'll eventually reach Murgo's wet nurse, who's taking care of the baby, which we need to slay in order to end this nightmare and stop the Blood Moon from killing everybody.
So yes, the plot of this game was to kill a baby.
But hey, we stopped the moon, which basically means we fulfilled the hunt. I mean, I don't know what pale blood is, but time to triumphantly return to the hunter's dream to find it's all on fire.
Gammon awaits you at the foot of the great tree.
Bad, Gehrman, bad! No! Before heading to Gehrman, it's worth noting 2 more optional areas are also available, one of which is the Upper Cathedral Ward, where you'll discover the other upper echelon of the church, the choir, find the Make Contact gesture so you can contact the Great Ones, which actually works on the Brain of Mensis, and discover just how messed up everything is, as there's a Cosmic Great One at Briatus, literally right underneath the Healing Church's Great Cathedral. Meanwhile, my favorite portion of the game, Cainhurst, also happens to be optional and involves you traveling to a haunted castle where a war amongst the Healing Church's overzealous executioners and the noble, over-pompous Vilebloods has caused nothing but ghosts and gargoyles to exist in the castle, along with their statues and sigil. Ah yes, the noble Cainhurst sigil, the roaring gargoyle with a jester penis. We ravage our women with laughter. With the optional content out of the way, minus the Chalice dungeons, which you can just skip those, it's time to talk to Gehrman, who offers to kill us in the Hunter's Dream. Gehrman, I appreciate the offer. It's awfully kind of you to ask, but I think I'm gonna have to say no.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
Gehrman himself serves as a great boss fight as you're fighting the character who's essentially your mentor. He has the same basic style of fighting as your character, but with various advanced techniques. If you manage to defeat him, you'll have completed your quest of ending Mensis' nightmarish ritual and save your own skin. You're hugged by another great one, the Moon Presence, and the true keeper behind the Hunter's Dream. But fuck hugs!
That was a joke. I love hugs.
While fighting Gehrman, you may have noticed that he's the first hunter, and it turns out he was actually around during the founding of the Healing Church and even knew Lawrence. In fact, Gehrman created the first Hunter's Workshop and worked alongside the Healing Church in fighting off beasts. The beasts themselves created due to the Healing Church's blood. The Hunter's Dream was created by Gehrman, or in a creepy twist, perhaps the doll whose finger twitches, by connecting with the Great One, the Moon Presence, kinda similar to what the School of Mensis was trying to do, just minus the baby. This Moon Presence has taken control of Gehrman and is forcing him to perpetually live in the Hunter's Dream and cycle through hunters in order to prevent the moon from drawing too close to Yharnam. If you can defeat this puppet master, you'll finally stop the cycles and triumphantly become, a baby slug. Congratulations! There's multiple outcomes depending on how you choose to tackle the ending, adding some replayability to the game. You also never really find out what pale blood is. Although in an odd twist, the blood moon is referred to as a pale blood sky, meaning it could have to do with the nightmare Mensis. On the other hand, both Willem and the doll bleed white when attacked, which could be pale blood.
Regardless, Bloodborne ended up being a worthy successor to Dark Souls with a new style and twist to it. In fact, I wonder if there's a way to spread my love of the good blood to others.
Who could that be? Ah, damn it.